Pick up any fall picks that you like, some burlap, a glass vase, a candle, some popcorn, glue gun and some glue sticks, and of course a pair of scissors. The first thing you're going to want to do is clip off your flowers or your little fall arrangements. I usually snip them and then I break the wire by just bending it back and forth. I'm just going to go through these pretty quickly here, and if at any time you need to speed up, feel free, but most of the time I speed it up anyway. Next, you get your glass, and I'm going to wrap around the bottom some of my brown burlap. I go around once and I cut it, and then I'm going to glue it on. I keep it at the bottom because I'm going to wind up putting the picks right over it. So use a little line of glue. Watch your fingers, you don't burn yourself. And then wrap your burlap around. Apply a little bit more glue if you need to, and then seal it off. Perfect. Now the next thing you're going to do is glue on your picks and your flowers. So I just arrange them any which way. I try to keep them on the burlap, and I just layer them on top of each other. I put the little cotton thing down first and a little cattail, I think it's called. And then I'm just going to fill it in with a little bit more flowers and some greenery. But you can do any way you want. You can put your flowers in any arrangement that you'd like. Just be careful with that hot glue down there. Some of them are a little bit heavier and require a little bit more glue, as you see here with the pine cone. So make sure you really seal it on there. Next, we're going to be wrapping the bottom to hide all of that glue and the stems. Okay, now that your flowers are on, let's go ahead and cover this little area right here. We don't really want to see some of the messy glue. So I take my burlap and I'm going to measure it all the way around one more time. And then I'm going to cut it there. And I'm just going to cut it along the whole length of the burlap, because I only want about half to 3/4 of the width of that. And then once I do that, I'm going to use a little bit more glue in the back. And I'm simply going to wrap the burlap right around one more time. And it just covers all that glue right there on the bottom. And just wrap it around the back again. You can add a little bit more glue, and then you're just going to snip off the excess at the end. And there you have it. We're almost there. Next, you want to fill your jar with some popcorn. And after that, you take your candle and just shove it right in there. And that's it. I found all of these leaves at the dollar store. They come in individual packets, like you see here. I also got some clothespins, a little bit of twine, an old book that I'm going to use, some scissors, glue sticks, and of course a glue gun. To make the paper leaves, trace out the largest of your leaves, and I think I have about 6 pages here that I cut out the pattern a little bit smaller than the largest leaf. Now, I need to combine these now. So I take the stem off very easily, popped right off, and then I do this in layers. I put a little bit of glue, and then I'm going to add my paper leaf. See how it's a little bit smaller? And then I'm going to add my tiny little colorful leaf here. And just a little dab of glue, that's all it takes. Now you can just watch me do a few more colorful ones. For this garland, I used 9 feet of twine. Then I find the center right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my clothespin, and I'm going to start with a single leaf in the middle and have that be my dead center. And then about 6 inches to the right, I'm going to clip on one of my 3 leaf collections that I made. And then 6 inches from there, I'll do a single leaf, and then the 3 leaves, a single leaf, and then I'll end with the large one, just like that. And then you just do the same thing on the other side. How cute is this going to be hung up on your mantle? Super easy too. You are going to love how easy this craft is to make, and it only costs about $3. You can stand it up or you can hang it up. Here we go. So you'll need one of those scarecrow picks, an 8x10 frame, a picture, some twine, glue sticks, scissors, and of course the glue gun. Okay, so first we need to take the stick off the back of our little scarecrow. You can use a scissor or a little saw. I just bent it back and forth and honestly it popped right off. Just be careful. Next, we're going to take the backing off of the frame to put our picture inside. Now, be careful where you put your glue because you want to make sure you're still able to take the backing off in order to change the photo in the future. So go ahead and seal it back up, and now it's time to put the string on to hang it up. I like to put little knots on each side so it's just a little bit thicker when I'm gluing it on the back of the frame. So you glue it down on each side, and I think for here I use 2 feet of twine. You glue it down on the corners and just make sure those little edges are down. And you can also, measure it wherever you want and put a top knot on top for when it's time to hang it up. And you can trim that excess off if you'd like as well. Okay, so now it's time to glue our little buddy on. So he's going to go actually behind the frame. So it's like he's hugging the frame. So make sure that he's in the corner and you want to glue him down, just like that. Now it looks like I'm covering the back completely. I'm not going to be able to lift it up, but you can lift up the 3 corners and be able to slide in a photo easily that way. I did test it out at the end. So you want to make sure your little scarecrow is hugging the frame. Make sure you don't get any on the glass, and you just kind of glue him down just like I'm showing you here. And then take your string and put it out of the way from your hanger, and then you're going to put his top arm across the top of the frame. It gets a little bit messy with that glue, so you can just wipe that away at the end. Make sure his arm's down and it looks like he's hanging onto the frame from behind. That's why I like hanging it up, because it does give a little bit of space back there when you have it on your wall. So that's why it's nice to have the string attached. So cool. You can hang it up or you can stand it up just like this. Hope you like that one. Now this craft is super fast and easy. Who doesn't like a cute clipboard? You'll need some rope or twine, some fall flowers, a clipboard, a photo or a little calendar like I used. So you want to trim up your flowers a little bit, take the stems off any way you'd like. These yellow ones were nice. I also found some small sunflowers. I just popped the heads off just like this, but there's still a little stem on the back and I wanted to make them flat. So I trimmed that off as well, as you can see here. And they popped right off, no problem. Next, I needed some leaves, so I just popped those off the stems as well. Remember, I got these at the dollar store. So, with your rope, you actually want to glue this onto the front of the clipboard. This way it doesn't stand out so much from the wall when you're hanging it up. And then after that, you want to start gluing down your stems and your background, and then you start just popping on your sunflowers or any other flowers that you choose. Just try to get them as flat as possible. After that, I added in some greenery, and guess what, guys? I was done. And I just popped in a little calendar for now. You can put a small picture. You can do a to-do list. You can even put a magnet on the back of this one and stick it on your refrigerator. Okay, so now this last one might be my favorite. You're going to need a little pencil holder, some loose leaves, a baby scarecrow head, some red burlap, and some pencils, scissors, glue gun, and glue sticks, of course. So get right on in there and trim off your leaves. And I think for this one, I may have used 8 to 10 leaves, if that, but you can always use the extra for something else. My stick needed to be trimmed down a little bit because I wanted my scarecrow head to be sitting on the side of the cup. So I just began to cut it with a scissor and it popped right off. After that, I needed to glue my little scarecrow head to the side of the cup. Now, see how he's sitting sideways here? You can turn him any way you'd like. You can have him facing in the cup or even outside the cup. I wanted to hide the stick, so I went ahead and I put some red burlap around the cup to hide the stick. And then we'll cover it with some leaves. After you put the burlap on, I went back in and I trimmed off a little bit of the excess that was hanging off the bottom of the cup. And then you want to place your leaves randomly around the scarecrow head. So it's literally like he's jumping out of a pile of leaves. And there you go. I'm putting on the last leaf now. You can actually put a lot more leaves on there if you want. You can cover the whole cup if you want. But I just stopped right there for now. Then you can pop in some pencils and some desk supplies. And you can even use it in a bathroom if you'd like, and for some toothbrushes or something. Whatever you'd like. How super cute is this little guy? I think I'm keeping this one on my desk this fall.